Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss a simple but powerful concept that could completely change the way you speak English. Thinking in English. Do you often find yourself translating sentences in your mind before speaking in English? Does this slow down your speech, or worse, make you feel nervous during conversations? Well, imagine a world where you don't have to translate anymore, where English just comes naturally to you. Sounds too good to be true? Stick around, because today we're going to reveal how thinking in English can take your speaking skills to a whole new level. Chapter 1. The Problem with Translating. When I first started learning English, I was like most beginners. I thought in my native language, translated it in my head, and then spoke English. But guess what? This method only slowed me down. My speech became unnatural, and I felt anxious during conversations. Have you ever been in that situation? You want to say something in English, but your mind is racing to find the right translation, and before you know it, the conversation is over. That's when I realized something important. Fluent speakers don't translate. They think in English. So I made a commitment to change. Instead of relying on translations, I would start thinking directly in English, even for small things. But how do you make this shift from translating to thinking in English? Let's dive into the first step. Chapter 2. Start small with everyday objects. The best way to begin is to make English a part of your everyday life. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've been learning for years. The key is to think in English for small, everyday things. Every morning when I woke up, I started by looking around my room and naming things in English. Bed, pillow, fan, window, and sunlight. I didn't say these out loud all the time. Sometimes I whispered them, and other times I simply thought them in my mind. This simple habit trained my brain to start recognizing English words even when I wasn't speaking them. I also started forming small sentences like, I am brushing my teeth, or now I am making tea. This habit didn't require me to memorize grammar rules or make things complicated. I was simply associating English words with real-life actions. This laid the foundation for fluency. Chapter 3. Build fluency with easy sentences. Once I became comfortable naming objects around me, I started making short, easy sentences. The goal wasn't to build complex structures, it was to get used to thinking in English without translating. For example, when I walked into the kitchen, I would think, I am making breakfast, or I need to buy more bread. These simple sentences may seem small, but they were powerful because they helped me connect my thoughts to the English language. At first, it wasn't perfect. I'd sometimes forget words or struggle to form sentences, but I didn't give up. I kept practicing by thinking in English every day, and soon my brain started to get used to it. Chapter 4. Make English your thinking partner. One day it occurred to me, if I could think in English when I was alone, why not do it all the time? So I started making English my thinking partner. Every time I walked anywhere, whether to the market, to the bus stop, or even when I was walking around my house, I would think in English. I'd think things like, I need to buy some vegetables today. This road is too crowded. I hope it doesn't rain. At first, it was a bit hard. Sometimes I didn't know the exact word and I had to use simpler ones. But that was okay. The point wasn't to speak perfectly. It was to get comfortable thinking in English. Slowly, I began to realize that I wasn't translating anymore. English was becoming the natural language for my thoughts, and that made speaking much easier. Chapter 6. Use English in real-life situations. Another common mistake learners make is thinking that they need to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent. But the truth is, you don't need to go to the USA or UK to speak English confidently. You can create your own English-speaking environment right where you are. Let me give you an example. Every time I went to a restaurant, I would read the menu in English even if it was written in my native language. I'd ask myself, what do I want to eat? And how much does it cost? In the market, I'd look at the fresh vegetables and think, those tomatoes look good. The weather is so hot today. I'll pick up some bread and eggs. Even when I didn't have anyone to speak with, I would practice speaking to myself in English. Chapter 7. Practice speaking without fear of mistakes. If you want to speak English fluently, you need to get over the fear of making mistakes. I've been there, feeling anxious, scared that people might laugh at me or correct me. But one day, my teacher told me something that changed everything. The one who speaks, even with mistakes, will learn faster than the one who stays silent. That was a game changer. From that moment, I decided I wouldn't let fear stop me. I made a rule: speak every day, even if it's imperfect. I began by practicing at small shops, ordering food like, "1 bottle of water, please," or "What time does the bus come?" Sure, the sentences weren't perfect, but I was speaking, and that made all the difference. Chapter 8. Use your surroundings as your classroom. One of the best things I did to improve was using the world around me as my classroom. No need for expensive books or special lessons. Everywhere I went, there was a chance to practice. At the train station, I would listen to announcements and repeat them in my mind. "Attention, please. The train is arriving at platform number 3. When I was at home, I'd look around and think, "The fridge is full of vegetables," or "I need to buy eggs tomorrow." But here's the good news. Fluent speakers don't translate. They think in English. When they hear something, they understand it immediately, without any need to translate. This is the secret to speaking quickly, naturally, and confidently. So how can we make the shift from translation to thinking in English? It's not going to happen overnight, but with practice, you can train your brain to think in English. Let's break down the process of shifting your mind from translating to thinking in English. One of the most effective ways to begin thinking in English is by starting small. No, you don't need to memorize hundreds of words or study complex grammar rules. You can start by naming everyday objects in English. Yes, it really is that simple. You already know the objects around you, like your bed, your phone, your clothes, and your kitchen. Now, instead of thinking about these things in your native language, start naming them in English. Let me explain with an example. When you wake up in the morning, look around your room and name the objects in English. This is my bed. This is my pillow. There is my window. The sun is shining today. You don't have to say these out loud all the time. Sometimes you whisper them, and other times you simply think them in your mind. This simple habit of naming objects in English is the first step toward thinking in English. As you get more comfortable with this, try turning it into small sentences. For example, instead of just thinking bed, try saying, "I'm sleeping in my bed," or "My bed is comfortable." Soon, you'll be able to think in full sentences about what you're doing. Now here's the trick. Don't focus on perfection. At this stage, your goal isn't to speak like a native speaker or use advanced vocabulary. The goal is to build fluency even with simple things. This will help you to get used to the sound of English in your mind. You'll begin hearing English in your head as you go about your day, and soon this process will feel natural. Now that you've started naming objects in English, it's time to take it a step further. To truly become fluent, you need to make English your thinking partner. This means you should start using English not just for labeling things, but also for thinking about your day. Imagine you're walking down the street. Instead of thinking, "I'm walking to the store," in your native language, switch it to English. "I am walking to the store now. I need to buy some vegetables." Even if you don't know the exact words, just keep going. Don't worry if you have to use simpler words. Start narrating your day in English. What are you doing? What are you thinking? For example, while you're cooking, you could think, "I am boiling the water. Now I am adding some salt." Or while traveling, "This is a crowded street. I hope it's not too hot today." This is a very powerful method of creating an environment where English is always present in your mind. It's like having a silent conversation with yourself in English throughout the day. And the best part is that you can do it anywhere, at home, on the bus, or while waiting in line. The more you practice this, the faster you'll be able to think in English. The goal is to make English the default language in your brain, just like your native language is. Don't worry about getting everything perfect. If you forget a word, use a simpler word or a phrase. For example, if you don't know the word frustrated, say, "I'm not happy with this," or "I feel upset." Over time, you'll become more comfortable with using English words in all situations, even in your inner thoughts.
Chapter 9. Think in English, Speak in English. At this point in my journey, I started to realize something very important. Thinking in English directly impacts your ability to speak it fluently. The more I thought in English, the easier it became to express myself without hesitation. One of the most important techniques I adopted was to speak in English in my mind before saying anything out loud. Before I got out of bed in the morning, I'd think to myself, "Today is a beautiful day. I feel fresh and ready to learn." While brushing my teeth, I'd think, "I am brushing my teeth now. I will get ready for the day ahead." This technique helped me build fluency even before I started speaking. And that's the key. Think in English, then speak it out loud. The more you do this, the less your brain will rely on translating words. It's like building a bridge between your thoughts and words. Over time, this process will feel completely natural. Chapter 10. Use your phone and apps for practice. In today's digital world, we have access to so many tools that can help us practice English. One simple change I made was to set my phone to English. Now everything on my phone was in English, my messages, apps, even my social media feeds. By constantly seeing English in my daily life, I started recognizing words and phrases that I wasn't familiar with before. You can also use language learning apps to practice speaking, or better yet, listen to English podcasts and audiobooks. The goal is to make English surround you, whether you're using your phone, listening to music, or watching videos. The more English you expose yourself to, the more your brain will start to think in English without you even trying. Chapter 11. Create a habit of speaking out loud. Speaking out loud is crucial to fluency. Even if no one is around to listen, practice speaking to yourself. For example, while walking down the street, you can say in your mind, "I am going to the market now. It's sunny and I should buy some vegetables." But you don't have to stop there. Try speaking those thoughts out loud. When I first started doing this, I felt a little shy, but over time it became easier. I didn't care if anyone heard me because I was practicing. I was learning. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. Chapter 12. Practice in real-life conversations. It's easy to practice English at home, but what about when you're out in the world? Real-life conversations are where things get really exciting. And guess what? You don't need to wait for the perfect opportunity. You can make everyday situations work for you. I started by speaking English to waiters, shopkeepers, or even strangers on the street. Even though I was nervous at first, I realized that most people are kind and understanding. They don't mind if you make mistakes as long as you're trying. For example, I went to a shop and asked, "Can I have a bottle of water, please?" It wasn't perfect, but the cashier understood me, and that's what mattered. Every small conversation like this helped me grow more comfortable with speaking. Chapter 13. Confidence is key. One thing I realized as I continued my journey was that confidence is a major factor in speaking fluently. When I stopped worrying about making mistakes, I found that my speech improved tremendously. The more I practiced, the more confident I gained, and the easier it was to speak without fear. This is key. Fluency is not about speaking perfectly, it's about speaking confidently. Mistakes will happen, but it's how you handle them that matters. With every mistake, I learned something new, and that made me feel more powerful as a speaker. Chapter 14. Embrace mistakes as part of the process. Here's a truth that will change the way you approach learning English. Mistakes are not your enemy, they are your teachers. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language, but they are the stepping stones to improvement. When I first started, I was afraid to speak because I didn't want to sound silly. But after hearing my teacher's advice, I realized that speaking, mistakes and all, is the best way to improve. For example, one time I said kitchen instead of chicken in front of a group of people. It was embarrassing at first, but I laughed it off, and so did everyone else. From that day forward, I never forgot the word chicken again. Mistakes aren't something to fear. They are simply part of the journey to fluent English. Chapter 15. Speaking every day is the key to consistency. Let's talk about consistency. This is where most learners fail. It's easy to get excited about learning English at first, but over time that motivation fades. What keeps you going? Consistency. I made a rule for myself. I would speak English every day. Whether it was practicing a sentence with a friend, ordering food at a restaurant, or simply talking to myself, I kept practicing every single day. Over time, this routine built my confidence in fluency. The more you speak, the better you get. It's that simple. Set a goal to speak English every day and make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Chapter 16. Take advantage of language exchange platforms. One of the most valuable resources I found was language exchange platforms. These are online communities where learners can practice speaking with people from all over the world. You can exchange your knowledge of English for their language, and both of you can benefit from it. These platforms give you access to people who are also learning, and they can be a great source of motivation. Plus, it's a low-pressure way to practice speaking because everyone is there to learn and help each other. Chapter 18. Practice listening and mimicking native speakers. Listening is just as important as speaking. To speak English fluently, you must understand how native speakers communicate. That's why I spent a lot of time listening to English podcasts, watching English TV shows, and mimicking the way native speakers talk. By copying their intonation, pronunciation, and rhythm, I was able to sound more natural in my speech. Don't be afraid to imitate. The more you practice mimicking real conversations, the more you'll sound like a native speaker. Chapter 19. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. It's easy to get discouraged when you feel like you're not improving fast enough. But here's a tip. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Every time you speak in English, even if it's just for a few seconds, that's a win. Every new word you learn, every sentence you construct is a step closer to fluency. Don't wait until you're perfect to celebrate. Celebrate the journey, because that's where the real growth happens. Conclusion. You can speak English fluently too. If I can do it, so can you. Thinking in English doesn't happen overnight, but with practice and consistency, you will start to see progress. The key is to stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. Make it a part of your daily life. Speak to yourself, practice every day, and embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. And remember, fluency is a journey, not a destination. So what are you waiting for? Start thinking in English today and take that first step towards speaking fluently.